Okay, thank you for joining me for the daily Sefer mitzvahs study for today. We got a little bit of a thunderstorm going on outside, so my apologies for any noise in the background. Today is lesson 145, and today we're learning three positive mitzvahs and three negative mitzvahs regarding the Yovel. So one thing I just wanted to mention is recurring patterns in time. The We have obviously every seventh year, every seventh day of the week we have a Shabbat where we don't do any work, we don't harvest, etc. And we get what we need in during the week and prepare before Shabbos, and then on Shabbos we have what to eat for that time, and then we have uh, during this Spheres HaOmer, we have 7 weeks, though it doesn't obviously line up where it's in the same order as we might start it in the middle of the week or whatever, but at the end of 7 weeks, we have a 50th day, and so we count up 49 days, and then we have the 50th day, which is Shavuos, and Pentecost. So we have the same kind of sequence going in the years. So we have weeks of years, which are uh, uh, six 6 years, and then a seventh year, which is Shemitah, and it's a sabbatical year. It's like Shabbat, but for a year, in that we don't plant, we don't harvest, etc. But you can draw upon what grows wild in the field, as long as it's not you're not doing this in a harvest kind of a way, and you're not doing business regarding the produce, etc. Um, Whereas there's some ways that those things can be done. But all right, and then we have 7 shmitas with the 50th year being the Yovel, the Jubilee year. That's the English way of saying it. And the Jubilee year has some additional unique mitzvahs associated with it. But the Yovel, the Jubilee, is also a year when the fields are left fallow. So imagine you would have these uh, 49 years, and on the 49th year, it's a Yovel. You're not planting, you're not harvesting, etc., because it's the Shemitah on the 49th year, and then on the 50th year, right afterward, you have the Yovel, and it's the also the same thing. So basically, your harvest basically from the year previous to the Shemitah is going to last you 2 additional years, and so very interesting how that sequence all lines up. And so now we'll talk about mitzvahs relating to the Yovel. We're going to have three positive, three negative. It's positive mitzvah 140, 136, and 137, and then negative mitzvah 224, 225, and 226. So first of all, it's a mitzvah to count the down the years to the Jubilee, or even you might think count up. Leviticus 25:8 says, "And you shall count 7 sabbatical years." All right. So starting when the Jewish people conquered Israel and settled the land, the High Court, the Great Sanhedrin, um, would count down the years to the Jubilee. They would count 7 cycles of 7 years, like we talked about, and then sanctify the 50th one as the Yovel. So that is where the mitzvah is actually performed. Who it's performed by was the Great Sanhedrin. It's not the mitzvah on each person in Israel. It's on the Great Sanhedrin. And, it's not for each person to decide when that year is. Otherwise, it would be chaos. All right, Leviticus 25:10 says, "And you shall sanctify the Yovel year." So we're commanded to sanctify the Jubilee year. And how do we do that? By abstaining from agricultural work, rendering all the land's produce ownerless and free for anyone to take. Communal property, and we're just same rules as far as that goes regarding the Shemitah, the sabbatical year. This mitzvah is of sanctifying the Yovel is only practiced in Eretz Yisrael, and only in the land of Israel, and only when all the tribes are settled in the land, each in their ancestral portion of the land. So as of right now, that's problematic. All right. Leviticus 25:9. Leviticus 25:9 says, "You shall sound the shofar on the 10th day of the 7th month, on Yom Kippur. You shall sound the shofar throughout your land." And we're commanded to proclaim freedom throughout the land with the blowing of the shofar. So we're commanded to blow the shofar on the 10th of Tishrei of the Yovel year, announcing the emancipation without compensation of all Hebrew slaves. So the people who came into debt and had to go into servitude in order to pay off debts, etc. They are emancipated at the end of that time. So these shofar blasts parallel the annual sounding of the shofar on Rosh Hashanah, both with regard to the actual blasts as well as the blessing that accompany them. Though the purpose of sounding the shofar is different, the Yovel blasts serve as an announcement regarding the liberation of these slaves. All right, planting during the Jubilee year. All right, so we're into negative mitzvahs. Leviticus 25:11 says, "You shall not sow." So it's forbidden to sow our fields with seed or to do agricultural work on fruit trees during the Yovel year. I would venture to say that also would include like planting plants and trees that are already growing, etc. Okay, so that's similar to the Shemitah year. Next negative mitzvah, Leviticus 25:11 again, says, "Nor shall you reap that which grows of itself in it." So it's forbidden, just like during the Shemitah, it's forbidden to harvest in a normal fashion whatever grows wild in the field during the Yovel year. But you may harvest it as if it is ownerless. You're not preparing extensively. You're not arranging ahead of time regarding a harvest, and you're not doing so in bulk. So taking what you need. And finally, last negative mitzvah, again, Leviticus 25:11. nor shall you gather it in it the grapes of your unpruned vine. So it's forbidden to harvest in the normal fashion the fruit that grows during the Yovel. Just again, just like same rules as the last mitzvah, but the Torah is calling out your vineyards, just like it did with the Shemitah year. We don't just assume that it's going to be your fields. The Torah is making a distinction and saying that both are um, are forbidden. So, all right, that is it. Tomorrow we have three more mitzvahs, and they are again relating to the Yovel. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day in every way.